Hi guys, welcome to Webb's Automotive. I'm currently on my lunch break at work because it is very cold outside. I don't know if I will get to the S10 tomorrow like I planned or not. We will see. I just figured I'd make a quick video on that. Figured I'd talk a little bit. Let's see, we'll talk about that truck. My S10 is a 1991 Chevy S10 Tahoe. Nothing special really. It's got the 4.3, the 700R automatic. It's been lowered 2 inches up front and 3 inches in the rear. The front is actually probably sagged about a half inch. It's probably 2.5 at this point. And I used to drive that truck every day. I drove that thing rain, sleet, snow, everywhere. Loved that little truck. Still do. Probably will never sell that one either because of I have some of the fondest memories of my life in that thing. As far as like vehicles go, a lot of friends have been in that truck that have passed on, family members passed on. Um, Me and my stepdad built that when I was 18, barely knew how to work on the truck. He basically did 90% of the work. I watched and helped as I could. He did show me how to put the lowering blocks on. He showed me how to do the springs. He didn't want me doing the front springs at the time because he was my stepdad. He didn't like me messing with the springs themselves because if they pop out, he was scared I was going to get hurt. Understandable. But we picked that truck up. It was bone stock. And when I mean bone stock, I think it had been painted. Well, actually, I know it had been painted, but it had been painted. And I think they replaced a bedside on it. Other than that, the truck was stock. There's nothing. Had the factory radio in it, had the factory wheels on it, everything. And I think less than like 2-3 weeks of ownership, we lowered it. Like I haven't even tagged it, drove it much at all, like myself. And we lowered it like almost immediately. We hunted in the Corvette rallies. We put those on there before they were very popular to put them on those trucks. Now it's such a cheesy thing to do. I almost want to pull them off because in my hometown there was like one other truck, and it was blue. It wasn't lowered. It didn't have any of the goodies mine has on it, and it was the only other one in our town that had the Corvette rallies on it at that moment. And after I did it, in about 3 or 4 years, every other S10, the round body, square body, they all had Corvette rallies. Like, I'm not joking. And it was insane. Like, it was almost a horribly bad nightmare that every S10 had the same exact wheels on them. Mine are technically the Camaro rallies because they're the 7s, not the big deep 8s. They're still Corvette rallies, though, because GM put those on like Chevelles, the Camaros, the Corvettes. But they got famous for the Corvette because they were mostly seen on the Corvette, but you could order them on a bunch of different cars. But currently, that truck had the transmission went out like 2 years ago. It's got a bad injector in it as well that needs to be addressed before I can drive it. Currently, the goal is to get the transmission that I have out of a 80s Trans Am, I think it is. I've already changed the tail shaft on it. I've already changed a couple sensors on it. I've had to swap the dipstick tube, which you have to do that to get everything out anyway, so that's not a big deal. The tail housing had to be swapped because they mount completely differently from the truck to the Camaro, and the speedo cables are different. On that, my speedometer does not currently work because the Trans Am had a plastic style like the old school for the cable driven speedometer. The S10 is all digital, which has a pressed on speedometer gear. So that means when I figure out if the transmission works or not, I will either have to take I'm gonna have to take the tail halves and back off if the transmission works. That's the kicker to all this. I don't know if this transmission will work. Yes, I could have that transmission rebuilt, but I have like $200 in this transmission, guys. So if it works, I'm saving a pretty good chunk of change just to get my truck going. And I don't really want to dump $1,200 into a factory rebuild for my S10 when my 4.3 goes, it's either getting the motor that's currently in the Chevelle or it's getting the Chevelle's on 283. Remember, I said in one of my videos, the Chevelle's getting the 383 stroker or possibly a 396 stroker in its future. But one of those two engines, probably the 283, because I think that would be a lot cooler, will be going into my S10. And it'll be getting a belt transmission and rear end EXT to go with it. Like the rear end, trans, all of it. I'll be gutting all the electronic stuff. I'll be going back to like cable everything. And it might get modern, like fuel injection style. I don't know. I like carburetors, so I'll probably throw a carburetor back on it. A good Holley is my go-to. Edelbrocks I like. They're not great for power, but they are very reliable. Like my Toyota, it's got a Weber carburetor on it currently. I like carburetors. Anyway, that truck will eventually be a V8 as well. I've already got the headers. I think I have the motor mounts put up somewhere, and I think I do have a V8 swap cross member. Not 100% on that. I'll have to look up at my grandparents and my stash of parts, which I have to go up there and get another car that's going to be on the channel as well. Currently, there's going to be 4 main vehicles on the channel. I have a 79 Trans Am, a 1978 Dodge D100, my 91 S10, and my 67 Chevelle, obviously. Then we may do some Toyota stuff. I don't know how much of that I will actually do because that truck is kind of lower on the totem pole. It's kind of like it's drivable right now, so we can do a lot of driving videos with that, do some off-road and stuff here and there. But it isn't very capable as it sits because it still has problems that need to be addressed. But it is drivable. The 4-wheel drive currently doesn't work. Power steering doesn't work. I need to fix that. Hey, there's a couple video ideas right there for me. But yeah, just making a quick little video talking about the S10 Toyota. But current weather conditions, I will probably be not doing the S10 tomorrow because I believe it's trying to snow again here in Tennessee. I know it's getting very cold. I work outside, so joy. But hopefully we'll see you guys in another video here soon. Hopefully it's not another video of me just talking for 8-9 minutes actually working on something. Yeah, I know it sucks. Not a great start to my YouTube channel, I'm going to say, but you guys are doing great. I was not expecting 200-300 views within like 3-4 days on the Chevelle stuff. That's pretty cool stuff to me. And I'm actually happy some people are watching this. Not a lot of people are liking, not a lot of people commenting. Kind of expected that. Low quality videos, everything. But thank you guys. Like and subscribe. I'm optimistic. Let's see what happens.